United Airlines rolls out a new policy to convince employees to get vaccinated.
And it's possible that we're going to see more companies putting similar plans in place. The company will reward flight attendants who get their shots. They'll receive 2 or 3 extra vacation days, depending on when they do get vaccinated. Those who don't can keep their jobs, but some will lose some perks. They won't be allowed to travel to other countries that require vaccines. And if they are assigned to an international flight, they'll be removed without pay. The union believes it is a fair compromise.
We have been in discussions with United for a while since the association has been in favor of the vaccination process because of the state of affairs we find our industry in.
Alan Janae joins us now, and this could become a trend as more people get back to work.
You know, as more and more Coloradans come back to the offices, back to the workplaces, a lot of companies are looking at whether or not they should require vaccinations. Now, that could bring up a lot of uncomfortable conversations and interactions. But as to whether they can, well, that looks pretty clear.
United Airlines' move to both reward and possibly penalize workers over vaccines is in one sense an easy decision.
The CDC has always used this saying, we're always just a plane ride away from an infectious disease.
Stephanie Wasserman heads Immunize Colorado, where they've been supporting not only the COVID vaccine, but others.
I imagine a big airlines that suffered a lot of losses during the pandemic wants to bring back their business model where everyone wants to fly and fly in a safe and comfortable environment.
We're getting a ton of questions from employers throughout Colorado.
Sterling LaBeouf is a specialist in employment law who often represents employers.
For some workers, you know, vaccinations have always been a part of the job requirements. You know, teachers, daycare workers.
Healthcare workers in Colorado have to get the flu vaccine. There are exemptions for medical or religious reasons.
Employers have broad discretion to implement a vaccination policy, you know, up to mandating it completely across the board.
There is a long history, notes Wasserman.
Vaccine requirements have been around for forever. George Washington required his troops to get vaccinated for smallpox.
She views the requirements as similar to other employer mandates like dress codes.
It's a tool around many different tools that need to be used to make sure that people are fully vaccinated and we can get to that herd immunity.
Now, LaBeouf notes that companies that do require vaccination will have to carefully keep records and keep them separate from other employee files. And he says unless an employee says that they have a sincere religious reason or medical reason, or if a union contract prohibits it, the company can force them to do so, and they have little legal recourse against it. In Denver, I'm Alan Janae, covering Colorado First.